Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Ananth, and today we'll be going over Java user input. So to start off, input refers to any information or data that a user provides us that we accept and interact with using Java within our program. And to do this, we'll be using something called Scanner. And Scanner is an inbuilt tool in Java that we can import from the java.util package. And essentially, it gives us the functionality to read input from a source. And we'll be using Scanner for two major reasons. One being it allows us to use dynamic input sources, so we can read from either keyboard input or text files, etc. And it also allows us to parse data into specific data types. For example, if a user types in a number, we can store it as an integer or a double, and etc. So these are the methods we'll be using from Scanner, and you'll see there next int, for example, which is used to read in an integer value. And now let's get into some practice. So first, we're going to prompt a user to enter their name and age. And after accepting these two things, we're going to store them and print them out in a nice format. All right, now that I've made it to Eclipse, I'll make a new class and I'll name it Scanner Demo. And now that I have this made, first thing I'm going to do is create the main method. So as we know, when we run a file in Java, the only thing that gets run is within these brackets right here within our main method. And now that I have this here, I can get started on our task. So first thing to do now is import the scanner object. So to do this, I'll just say import java.util.scanner. And now we can use the scanner object in our code. So I'll start off by creating that object. So scanner equals new scanner. And within the parentheses, I'll say system.in. So basically what I do right here by saying system.in is that we are going to be reading the input stream, which is essentially the keyboard input that a user will type in the console down below. Now that I've created this scanner, I want to print out prompts for the user to enter information, and then we can use Scanner to store these things. So I'll say system.out.print, enter your name, and right now we just have this in the console, but we're not doing anything with it. So here's where Scanner comes in. We know that a name is going to be of type string, so we'll just say name string, or string name is equal to scanner.next. And this accepts whatever's in the console, converts it to a string, and stores it within the variable name. So now, just to show where we are, I can enter my name here. So I'll type it in, and that's it. Now the name variable will have this text stored. Next, I'll do the age. So same thing, enter your age, and we know that age must be an integer, so we'll store int age equal to scanner dot next int. And this is the important part right here. If we're going to accept an integer, we must specify that we're calling scanner dot next int and not dot next. If we do that, we'll get a type mismatch error. And next we can, now that we have these variables, we'll just print them out in a formatted way. So I'll say system.out.print, your name is, and now I'll add the name, and your age is age. So now let's go ahead and run this, see how it works. So I'll enter my name here and my age. And now we have this line printed right here and the variables created. So to recap what we've done so far, we've created the scanner object. We've accepted input for two things, the name and age. And after accepting these variables, we've called .next to accept it as a string and .nextInt to parse whatever the user types in as an integer. And now the last thing we have to remember to do with whenever we're using scanner is to close it. So we will just say scanner.close. And what this does is says, hey, we've accepted whatever user input we need for now. Let's close whatever input stream we're reading in. And that's all. Now that we've done a quick example of how to use Scanner, you can go ahead and pause this video and try this problem out yourself. But the solution to this problem has to do with the input the user is passing in. So in this case, we're saying enter a number, and then we're calling scanner.nextInt on this value and printing it out. But if a user were to type in 25.5, this cannot be parsed as an integer, which will lead to a runtime error for an input mismatch exception, where we give a double, but we're expecting an integer. Now let's review everything we've done today. We went over Scanner and how it pertains to reading user input in Java. And we've talked about the major benefit of parsing through data types using scanner methods. And one main thing that we learned today is to always close the scanner object. And some next steps by yourself are to try and incorporate try-catch blocks when using scanner and try reading in file inputs instead of just keyboard inputs. That's it for today. Thank you.